Hello students, how are you all? I am also fine. So today we will discuss about the third law of thermodynamics. Students, this is the last topic of this unit. Okay, third law of the thermodynamics. Before that we have discussed first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics also. So what was the first law of thermodynamics? It based on the energy, means total energy of universe is constant. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be, yes, it can be transformed from one form to another form. Then students, we discussed about the second law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics was based on the entropy. Okay, means the entropy of universe is continuously increasing as result of the spontaneous process. Clear or not? So student, today we will discuss about third law of thermodynamics. It is also based on entropy. It is also based on the entropy. What does this law states? This law states that the temperature of system approaches absolute zero, its entropy becomes constant. Its entropy becomes constant. For example, if we have a system, let us consider some ideal gases are filled in this. Okay, students, let us consider in this system we are decreasing the temperature up to zero. We are decreasing the temperature up to zero. Then this law it says that if we decrease the temperature up to zero level, then its entropy becomes constant. Then its entropy becomes constant. Entropy becomes constant. Means if we decrease the temperature of a system up to 0 Kelvin, then its entropy becomes constant. It is clear to you or not? Its entropy becomes constant means change in entropy is 0. Entropy is constant means neither it is decreasing nor it is increasing. It is constant now means no change is taking place there. No change is taking place there means change in entropy, and we denote the entropy by S, and change in entropy we can denote by del S. So here change in entropy will be 0. Clear or not? Or we can say that at 0 Kelvin, entropy of a system will be constant and change in entropy of a system will be 0. It is clear to you or not? Yes. Then students, the third law of thermodynamics is also called Nernst law. You know, this law, third law of thermodynamics, was given by Nernst. So this law is also known as the Nernst law. Then students, absolute zero, because here we are talking about the absolute zero, means temperature approaches to zero. What do you mean by absolute zero here? Here absolute zero means the coldest possible temperature, and in thermodynamics we take the constant coldest temperature, that is 0 Kelvin, that is 0 Kelvin, and you know very well 0 Kelvin is equal to the minus 273 degree Celsius. Okay students, you know very well if we are having a liquid, so at this temperature it will become super cooled liquid. Clear or not? And super cooled liquid is in solid state. It is also in solid state. Means now their particles are closely packed, are closely packed, means their moving capacity is going to decrease now. So at this level, entropy becomes constant, Change in entropy becomes zero, but entropy is constant. Clear or not? Yes. Then students, if we calculate this value, this 0 Kelvin in Fahrenheit, then in Fahrenheit this value will be minus 459.67 degree Fahrenheit. Clear or no? So what do you mean by absolute zero? Absolute zero means the coldest possible temperature, and in thermodynamics we take coldest temperature is 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin means minus 273 degree Celsius, or in Fahrenheit this value is minus 459.65 degree Fahrenheit. It is clear to you or not? Yes. Then students, for example, at absolute zero temperature, entropy of perfectly crystalline substance becomes zero. What do you mean by the perfectly crystalline solid? Students, you know, there are two types of the solid on based of their arrangement of the particles. One is crystalline solid and second one is the amorphous solid. Crystalline solid is that in which constituent particles are arranged in a regular order, pattern, we can say. Clear or not? Means here minimum space between the particles, and particles in solid, they are tightly bound to each other. They are closely packed. They are tightly bound to each other. And here arrangement of particle is also regular. Clear to you or not? So we can say they show the long orders. Clear or not? For example, let us consider we have a solid and these are the particles of solid. Then students, we are arranging all the particles in a definite pattern, in a regular pattern. Then there will be minimum space. There will be minimum space between these two particles. So in this way, this is the regular pattern. But students, other is amorphous, in which irregular arrangement of particles there. If we arrange particles in this way, means no regularity is there. Clear? If irregular arrangement of particle is there, then they form the amorphous solid. Amorphous solids are also known as the supercooled liquid. Means when we cool the liquid at very lowest temperature, then they convert into the solid state. But this is not the real state of that substance. Clear? So in that, arrangement of particle will not be regular. It can be further converted into the liquid state easily. Clear or not? By removing applying conditions on that. Then students, amorphous solid is that in which arrangement of constituent particles mean the particle by which substance is made up of. Clear or not? So in which arrangement of constituent particles is not regular, it is irregular arrangement. So we can arrange them at a short range only. Clear or not? We can arrange that by a short range only. And student, if I want to cut this, if I want to divide in two halves, so clean half I cannot take here. Means if I want to cut it in two halves, so these two halves we cannot take a clean cleavage here. Clear or not? But here we can do clean cleavage. We can do clean cleavage. So in case of the crystalline solid, because arrangement of constituent particles is regular, it is definite, so they are more strong. And here force of attraction is more. Clear or not? So students, they are closely packed. Okay, so here entropy, because there is minimum space between the particles, there is minimum space between the particles. Okay, so their entropy will be, their entropy becomes 0, their entropy becomes 0. It is clear to you or not? So for example, absolute 0 temperature entropy, at absolute 0 temperature, one condition is that temperature should be 0 there, because by increasing the temperature, kinetic energy of particles can be increased, means particles will move apart from each other, and if particles are moving, means their freedom is going to increase, and freedom, randomness is known as entropy. Clear or not? Then there will be increase in entropy also. Means here at absolute temperature, at absolute 0 temperature, we will consider temperature 0 at absolute 0 temperature. Clear है? Entropy of a crystalline substance become 0, means if temperature is 0 and our substance is crystalline solid, constituent particles having regular geometry, then its entropy will be 0. Any doubt in this? Yes. Then students, if temperature is 0 degree Kelvin, if temperature is 0 Kelvin, in Kelvin we will not use the subscript degree, only Kelvin we will use. In Celsius and in Fahrenheit we use degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, but in Kelvin we not use. So it is 0 Kelvin. Clear or not? Then students, if temperature is 0 Kelvin and our substance is crystalline solid, then its entropy will be 0. Its entropy will be 0. But students, if we increase the temperature, clear, then entropy also will be 0. Entropy will also be 0. Here change in entropy is 0, because entropy is not changing here, because here temperature is constant. Here temperature is constant, or which is, it is 0 Kelvin. It is 0 Kelvin. But if we increase temperature, then by increasing the temperature, kinetic energy increases. Kinetic energy increases means randomness increases, freedom increases. Clear or not? Randomness increases means entropy increases. Means there will change take place in entropy. If entropy is changing, so we can say change in entropy cannot be equal to 0. This change cannot be equal to 0. So if we increase the temperature by from 0 degree Celsius, we extend, then change in entropy cannot be equal to the 0. Then students, at 0 Kelvin, entropy of ideal gas becomes 0. So we have already discussed that. At 0 Kelvin, entropy of ideal gas, if we have ideal gas are those which follow this equation, PV is equal to nRT, which follow this equation are known as the ideal gas. So and at 0 Kelvin, entropy of ideal gas becomes 0. So this is all about the third law of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics third law states that at absolute zero temperature, entropy becomes constant, or we can say change in entropy is 0. Here what does mean by the absolute zero? Absolute zero means 0 Kelvin or minus 273 degrees Celsius or minus 400 59.67 degree Fahrenheit. Any doubt in this? Yes. Then students, Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy. This is the one more topic we left in between. The maximum amount of energy present in thermodynamic system that can be used to perform work at a constant temperature and pressure, or we can say that the maximum energy which is used for doing useful work only in a system at constant temperature and pressure, means that amount of energy which is used only for doing useful work, that energy is known as the Gibbs free energy. That energy is known as the Gibbs free energy. Clear or not? For example, if we supply some electricity for running of a fan, okay, then students, it start to move, but after some time it get hot. Why it become hot? Because only some amount of energy is required for revolving the fan, for moving the fan, and some extra energy we are also providing here. And you know very well, according to the second law of thermodynamics, it is impossible to construct a machine with 100% efficiency, clear or not? So that machine is not 100% efficient. How much energy we are providing to the fan for moving, complete energy is not used for working, for moving the fan. Only small amount of energy is used for revolving the fan, and some extra energy which we are providing, it is used for increasing entropy, or we can say for showing the heating effect there in our fan. Clear or not? So student, the energy which is used only for moving the fan, because our useful work, what is our motto? Our motto is to run the fan only, So only that amount of energy which is used only for running the fan, that is the Gibbs free energy there. Means that amount of energy which is used only for doing useful works in a system, that is known as the Gibbs free energy. Clear or not? Yes. Then students, we can denote Gibbs free energy by G, by capital G. It will be equal to the H. H is the total enthalpy that we are giving to the system. Clear or not? Then TS means which is producing randomness, disturbance, for increasing entropy, that amount of energy is used. Clear or not? So if we decrease this freedom, this extra disturbance, entropy, clear or not, from total enthalpy given to the system, then we get the enthalpy which is used only for doing useful work, and that is known as the Gibbs free energy. Clear or not? Then system here Gibbs free energy, it is a state function. If initially Gibbs free energy is G1 and finally it is G2, so we can write in this way, del G. Clear? Then del G is equal to del H. You know very well, enthalpy change is also a state function. Then T, already we have written at constant temperature and pressure. Here we are having constant temperature, so it is not changing because we are having constant temperature here. Clear or not? But entropy is going to change. So we can write in this way also by showing some changes. Clear or not? Here del G is change in Gibbs free energy. Del H change in enthalpy and T del here del S is change in entropy and T is the temperature. Clear or not? Then students, there are some criteria for spontaneity. We have already discussed for del S. If this value is greater than 0, then process will be in during entropy we have discussed that. Then process will be spontaneous. If this del S is 0, means equilibrium. If this del S less than 0, then process will be non-spontaneous. But students, here we are talking about the Gibbs free energy, not for entropy. So here you have relation del G is equal to del H minus T del S. Okay. So from here you can see, if you will increase the value of del S, then this negative value will increases. This negative value will increases, means overall del G you will get negative. Overall del G you will get negative. Clear or not? So in this case you can see this process is becoming reverse. Okay. So from here we can write, if del G is less than 0, then process will be spontaneous. If this del G is equal to 0, here it is also in equilibrium. And if del G it is greater than 0, then process will be non-spontaneous. Clear or not? Any doubt in this? Yes. So students, today we have completed this unit. From tomorrow we will start to do NCERT exercise portion of this. We will do some extra questions also related to this unit. So thank you. Have a nice day.